Hello there and welcome. We are Geeks Assembled and we have gathered here today to talk about the Rocker Horror Picture Show. And we're talking about the original. And let's start off with our very own Lee Wilson. And, someone's just dropped out. Oh, it was Dan. What do you make of the film, Lee?
I had dropped out anything. It is. I haven't seen this for a while. It's a damn good movie. And every single song in it, you can sing along to. It's one of these. It's a feel good. I know it's a sad movie at the end, but it's a feel good movie and it's a fun movie. Camp as hell. But yeah, I love this. It is. But for me though, it is Tim Curry who makes this movie a success in my eyes. Without him in this movie, I can't see anybody else playing Frankenfurter in this. So, I mean, there has been many on the stage play the character, but in the movie, he nails it. So that's my opening thoughts.
Yep, and let's go over to Alex and Susan.
All right, I love it. I've seen it in the live with the audience participation, not the live theater presentation, but the movie with a huge crowd of people doing wonderfully unique things to the screen and to each other, and it's super fun. And it's camp. It is so camp. It's so fun, and the songs. Oh my gosh, there are some awesome songs in it, and poor Eddie, and wonderful. One time, my first time I went, they dressed me up as, not magenta, but Columbia, the gold jacket and the little short. I had short red hair at the time, and the bustier, and it was super fun. Oh my gosh! So anyway.
Yes, I heard about this. I heard the audience participation track in New Jersey. Then I finally saw the movie. When I saw it on DVD, I viewed it about 4 times. And much like Sweet Charity, you have to watch it to really get into it. And I said, well, what's so special about Tim Curry? And when he comes in and does the Sweet Charity, I mean, it's just amazing. I would have liked to have seen the stage version in the 60s. I'm kind of sorry that they didn't have a stage, or the early 70s version of the stage. It's too bad they didn't videotape it. I don't like everything about the movie, but it's a lot of fun. The songs are great. You have Tim Curry. You have Charles Gray from James Bond movies. You have Susan Sarandon, an early role. Richard O'Brien. Didn't like the sequel, Shock Treatment, as much, even though it was an interesting idea. But the songs were not as much fun as this. I mean, the songs are great. I can start singing and most people know what the songs are.
And let's go on over to Susie. Let's warp on over to Susie. What's your opening thoughts, Susie?
Well, I've seen it many, many times. The first time I ever saw it, I was a freshman in college, and I had never really heard of it. And people said, "We want to go see a movie." I said, "Sure." Well, my suite mates at the time made sure I had newspaper and an umbrella and toast and rice. I was like, "Why do I need all these things?" They said, "You'll figure it out," and I did, and it was a blast. And I really enjoy it that way. At that time, we didn't do the full participation thing where you're yelling at the screen. It wasn't a whole script. It was just a couple words here and then. And I really had a good time. And it's a movie that if you want to have a good time with your friends, then this is the movie that you have a good time with. However, if you want to sit down and just watch a good movie, this is not the movie I would recommend. For me, the best part of the movie is Time Warp.
Yeah.
And it kind of, and Tim Curry is fabulous, but the peak is Time Warp. And then equal to Time Warp going back down the other side starts Tim Curry, Sweet Transvestite, and it goes down. And by the last scene, I really only like watching it up to Meatloaf's song, and then after that, it bores me. Unless I'm having fun with a group of people. So that's my opening thoughts.
And let's jump to the left with Beef Dad in Germany.
Well, I saw the original production on the London stage at the Royal Court Theatre in 1973 with my then wife, and it was brilliant. Of course, you had Jonathan Adams actually did the narrator for it. And he'd done a television program called Bread, I believe. Played the young son in that. Tim Curry obviously was in it. Richard O'Brien, who playing Riff Raff, who actually wrote the music and the dialogue for the whole thing. Patricia Quinn played Magenta, as she did in the film, and Little Nell did Columbia, as she did in the film. It was brilliant then, and the film production of it did not let down. It was the film production is excellent. I love it to bits. As far as the music is concerned, I mean, I used 2 of the songs from it because fortunately I have the musical score. I used 2 of the songs from it in a pantomime. We did the Time Warp and There's a Light Over at the Frankenstein Place, which are 2 of my favourite songs, except for Don't Dream It, Be It, which I always think is just absolutely wonderful. I love the story.
And it's time to take a step to the right with Kevin.
Oh, I'm on the right.
Wait, I've got to do the pelvic thrust in a minute. You can wind on to that, but you can skip Kevin's bit if you want. No, I'm only joking. No, carry on, Kevin. I'm only joking.
Yeah, I know.
Go on, Kevin.
Well, when I first saw this movie, I saw clips of it with Sweet Transvestite, and I really was interested in this movie, so I downloaded it and watched it. I was like, wow, what a good movie. Yeah. And now I got it officially on Blu-ray for only 10 euros. So I was like, I'm going to buy it. And then, we watched it again today. Really loved it. And, and then don't watch the US version. Don't.
No. That you've got to watch this version.
Yes. So that's my opening thoughts.
And for me, well, I haven't seen this film for a very long time, actually. And watching it again, it's just great. I mean, I just love the songs. I mean, the Time Warp, I just love it as a song. I mean, I was brought up as a kid going to Butlins in the 90s. And you know, Butlins, they played the Time Warp all the time. So I have this song embedded into my very brain, you know, because they used to play it all the time. It's just such a good song. I think Tim Curry, he is just amazing in this. Lee's right. Nobody else can do that. You know, I mean, I don't know. Is he actually still alive? Because is he still alive?
He suffered a massive stroke last year, and he's in a bad way, in a wheelchair and everything. But he's
because I
still
saw
with us.
about a year ago he went to some sort of event, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. He appeared in the American version of this as Dr. Scott.
Yeah.
No, Dr. Scott in the wheelchair. Was it? Was it? I think.
Was he the narrator? I think he was the narrator, wasn't he?
Was he the narrator?
Yeah, he was. In the new,
No.
in the Fox remake.
No, I'm getting confused. Jonathan Adams played the original narrator on stage, but he plays Dr. Scott in the movie. That was it. Sorry about that. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, because I didn't know whether he was still alive. Because we've had quite a few celebrity deaths over the last.
He's alive, and we're putting him in bubble wrap and sealing him for the future.
I know he's absolutely amazing in this. This film is just great. It's not a long film, actually. Was it only an hour and 40 minutes, hour and a half, something like that? It's not a long film at all. I mean, it flies by. So let's go into opening thoughts, and we are going to sing the Time Warp song at the end in full for our YouTube Red subscribers, for our paid members. Alex is going to kick it off. Not till the end, though. Alex, favourite moments? What's your favourite moments, Alex?
As I said, I like most of almost all these songs. The beginning where they're supposedly the they're engaged couple after the wedding, and you see Frankenfurter and Riff Raff and Columbia and Magenta in regular funeral clothes. And then you see it in the story that the criminologist Charles Gray is talking about. And it's great songs. They have a lot of feeling, a lot of rhythm. Sweet Transvestite. I mean, when I saw him do it, I said, oh, now I know why this is so popular. Because, I mean, he's just like Sammy Davis Jr. He brings such energy to it. You go, wow.
Was he getting a little bit excited over it?
No, but
was he getting a little bit?
Energy, it's great energy. What else? Loaf is even good. He's not usually known for being a great presence, but he was good. I mean, the cast is good. The transitions are great. I don't think even 15 minutes. Does 15 minutes even elapse without a song? Yeah, I think only once maybe. We even saw the version where they had extra footage of the floor show or whatever it was called. I mean, it's great songs. It really is.
But listen very closely to Susan.
Okay, Tim Curry, and the rest of the cast, but Tim Curry. And then there's...
we got it now, Susan. Yep, it's Tim Curry.
And then, okay.
I'm sorry.
I forgot who it was.
What was that name again?
Well, yeah, what was that name again? Yeah, exactly.
Did you like Tim Curry, Susan?
Tim Curry,
No, she didn't.
Curry,
It was the worst bit of the film.
And I really liked the Time Warp, and I really liked
that's what
the floor show at the end. My favorite moments.
It's interesting. I'll pause in a minute. It's funny how even Spanish television does the Time Warp song. I was kind of like, they don't do almost any other song, but I've seen that song even on Spanish television done in Spanish, with the clothes of the conventioneers or whoever they were. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And that's been on for 15 years. I've seen it on Spanish television. So,
did you want to add any more, Susan? No. Do you want to say Tim Curry one more time?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
And let's go to Susie for favourite moments.
Oh, favorite moments. I love Damn It, Janet. I'll be walking around my house and stub my toe and I'll say, Damn it, Janet. So that one always sticks in my head. And I love the Time Warp bit. It's a lot of fun, the whole thing. I'm always amused by the first number I'm always amused by the first number that has the same chorus from the show at the church. And I always wonder if there's supposed to be, for a long time I thought that it was some nefarious thing that these were the same people, but they're not. They just happened to be at the church. They want to get a whole other chorus for that scene. But it's hysterical. And when they have the people in the back going, damn it, Janet, damn it. So, damn it, Janet is probably the thing that sticks in my head most of all of them. So that's my favorite moment. That and the time warp.
And let's put our hands on our hips and go with Beef Dad for favourite moments.
Yeah, again, like everybody else, I love Damn It, Janet. I particularly like Riff Raff and Magenta dressed as the couple from the very famous painting American Gothic.
Yeah.
That is just absolutely brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
There's a light over at the Frankenstein place. I've always thought.
There's a light. Oh,
Look at Alex and Susan there.
Yeah.
True love.
I'm sorry, I thought I was muted.
If you want to sing, that's fine. You can sing away.
Yeah. What else? Yeah. Obviously, everybody loves Time Warp. I don't think I've ever met anybody who didn't. But yeah, as I said, one of them, I like Don't Dream It, Be It. But everybody always forgets Rocky's song in this. The Sword of Damocles is brilliant. It really is absolutely brilliant. And of course, we've got the Conventioneers doing the chorus in the background, and that is just absolutely superb. And the sad bit at the end, I just think is brilliant. With when he's killed and Rocky tries to climb the mast and is eventually shot down. That is all very sad. All very sad. And I'll always remember the lines on Somewhere on the Planet's Face, some insects called the human race, lost in time and lost in space and meaning. That's brilliant, just absolutely brilliant and perfectly delivered.
Yep. Let's go over to Hull before madness takes its toll.
So you want my favourite things?
Favourite moments, yeah.
Where to start?
Whatever.
Well, science fiction double feature, Damn It, Janet, over at the Frankenstein place, the Time War. What else is it? Sword of Damocles. It's just hot patootie, bless my soul. What rock and roll. It's just was it Touch Me? I love that one. Eddie. Yeah, I did. But they're all marvellous. But I've got to agree, the floor show at the end with Rose Tint My World, Don't Dream It, Be It. And the last one with I'm Going Home. For me, Tim Curry is the movie. To be honest, all the other actors in it brilliant as you know as they. I'll just get rid of this. Thank you.
Lobs it out the window.
So it's really well cast. I mean, who would have thought Susan Sarandon running around in a Basques and Suspenders Oscar winner? It's wonderfully put together. It's lasted so many years now, and you never get tired of it. That's the good thing about it. You never get tired of any of the songs. Even the last song, the superheroes, where they're just crawling around after their house was lifted off, and it's just amazing that Richard O'Brien came up with this idea. It must have made him a fair few bucks, but
it's still made.
Yeah. I mean, it has been mentioned that it's not a sequel as such. This Shock Treatment, which was made in about 1980-81, it's got Brad and Janet in it, but it's two different actors playing them. But it's set in the same place where this is set in Denton.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's not good, shall we say?
The music is not as memorable as the original. There's very few songs in the sequel. The sequel was sorry, Lee. The sequel was sort of a combination game show and reality show, which was good for 1981, but it doesn't have the same staying power as the original show and the original movie.
I've never seen the sequel.
Well, it's got some retaining actors from the Rocky Horror Picture Show in shock treatment. Tim Curry's not in it, but you've got Charles Gray, you've got.
But Tim Curry is a film, so if Tim Curry's not in it, then
this is it. Yeah, I know, this is it. I mean, Richard O'Brien's in it. I think Little Nell's in it, and Patricia Quinn and all like that. But no Tim Curry, no Susan Sarandon, no Barry Bostwick.
The songs were a little bit more new wave, so for the time it was a nice attempt, but for it to be a sequel or sort of a prequel or be in the same universe as Rocky Horror, it doesn't quite work. It's a nice idea, but it doesn't quite work.
But it's an interesting watch, and I do say if you ever get your hands on it, give it a watch. You may like it, you may think, "Oh, what a load of," but that's my say on the matter at the moment. Tim Curry all the way.
And let's go over to Kevin. Favourite moments, Kevin?
Tim Curry.
Yeah, Tim Curry.
Well, there we are. Yeah.
No, I liked a bit with Rocky and Meatloaf. I love Meatloaf, really.
Yeah.
Not the food, but and it was, you can see on Beef Dad's face. So yeah.
Oh, has he got it on his face? Is he? Oh, Beef Dad. He could have wiped it off. Oh, Jesus.
And like the sweet transvestite time warp again, and that's about it.
Everybody loves Time Warp Again and Sweet Transvestite. They're the two best songs, in my opinion. They're the two best songs. So is that all your favourite moments, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing I was wondering, too, is,
what have you been wondering, Alex?
How do you live it down?
With
all the energy that the whole cast had in the whole movie, how do you go to another role that has the same energy that will be remembered?
We tend to be doing a lot of musicals, if anybody's noticed.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, how
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Singing in the Rain. Yeah, go on, Alex. Sorry, I was interrupting.
No, you're right. But I'm saying, how do you live it down? I mean, can you imagine, Tim Curry having to go to casting and they're probably expecting, Frankenfurter, and you can't be like that. Very few people can be that energetic all the time. So you probably had a little trouble getting roles. I mean, I know he did, but
he was totally different in Annie.
Right, exactly. No, he was great in Annie as well, but that was 1982.
He's a great actor. Yeah. I was in Home Alone 2, wasn't he? He's in Home Alone 2. He's good in that. He's been in loads of films.
Clue. He was in Clue.
He was in Three Musketeers, wasn't he? As the villain.
Yeah. Yep.
He was in Legend.
Robin Hood? I can't remember. In Robin Hood at some point.
I don't know, but if you've ever seen the film Legend, he was the horned beast in that. Unrecognisable.
He's making their own joke.
And also, you can't forget Pennywise the clown.
Oh God, yeah, in It.
Yeah.
Yes, he was him, wasn't he? Yes, that was him. Yeah, that's hilarious. That comedy. It's not meant to be serious, is it? Because you're laughing.
Well, Stephen King usually writes horror, but
I watched it my partner was watching it the other day. I thought it was a comedy. Never mind. But all I'm going to say, I'm going to repeat what Susan says. Tim Curry. Alex.
Who?
Say it again.
Who?
Tim Curry.
Okay, I'm going to... Hold on a second. I've got a list here of some of the awards he's gotten. I mean, this was a real actor. He was nominated for the Laurence Olivier Award as a
I know
best,
he's a real actor.
and well, I mean, if we're going to talk about
He's got the
for
role.
Spamalot, he was in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. He's done a lot of theater and film, and he's just truly Clue. What else? Big.
Well, sorry, Susie. Wasn't that in the 80s, though? How much did he do in the 70s? Was he just doing the play of the Dark Horror, or was he doing?
Hold on a second. Let me see. Blah, 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 blah.
He's mostly on the stage.
Yeah.
So was he doing a lot of? Because I know there was tours of the company. Were they doing a lot of?
Doesn't really say. I'm not on IMDb. I was on Wikipedia. But it looks like he graduated from college in '68, so he didn't have that much of a time before it came out.
Wow.
What was the last film he did?
Well, I would imagine it was Rocky Horror, the remake.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he wasn't in that much, but yeah.
Well, he was in it.
Right.
No,
yeah. But
so anyway,
much smaller part.
Tim Curry.
Much smaller part.
I doubt he's watching, Do you think he's watching? Should we all give him a wave just in case he is watching?
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Yeah.
We love you, Tim.
Give
I'm
yourself
sure he's
over.
blowing kisses back.
Yeah.
Anyway, do we have any least favourite moments? Do we have anything that you think? Susan's waving her finger at me. That usually means don't even go there.
Oh, I have one.
Yeah,
my least favorite moment is when they eat Eddie. I don't like that part. I don't like that part when they eat Eddie.
That's rather a tender subject. Yes.
Oh, God. That was bad, grown bad. But no, that's the only part I don't like.
Have you bought him a comedy book, Susan?
Yeah, could you please buy him a comedy book, Susan?
A joke book.
Did they really eat Eddie? I didn't know that.
So, anyway.
There is a little funny part in the film where Janet and Rocky are found in bed under the covers together.
Right.
And it's, Janet, Brad, Rocky.
And
then
Dr. Scott.
Janet. Yeah.
Dr. Scott.
Dr. Scott.
Janet, Rocky.
But Tim Curry was portraying Queen Elizabeth II in this film.
Really?
The way he was playing the Queen.
I know he said he wanted to have his voice posh like the Queen. I wasn't sure it was a tribute.
I don't think
it was a tribute.
Unfortunately, we cannot play any of his lines for copyright reasons. But
yeah, but
I wonder if Philip sees her in the fishnet stockings, though.
I think back in the day, it wouldn't have surprised me. Back in the day, sure, why not? She probably wore them.
Just to let you.
I think she's a little warmer under the hood than she gives on to.
Yeah, wait there. Beef Dad wants to say something.
Just to let you all know, I've told you how many of the film cast were in the original production.
Damn it.
The original production was actually an amateur show. In the Royal Court Theatre, it was the little theatre upstairs that was quite by amateurs, and only seated about 50 people. And Jonathan King, the record producer, went to see it, and he talked them into and backed making the original soundtrack record of it. That's how I went to see it, because where I worked at the time, Jonathan King was a customer of mine, and he said, you ought to go and see this show. So I did. But as I say, he said it's an amateur show, but you would not believe that these people are amateurs.
Beef Dad, would you call this a rock opera like Jesus Christ Superstar, or do you think it's totally different?
No, it's different. It's different.
It's unique.
It's definitely unique.
Hashtag Beef Dad wins.
it's a one-off. It's definitely a one-off. There isn't anything else like this. It's not a musical, but it's not and it's not a rock opera. But it's just something special, something of its own. It's not of any given genre.
I mean, would you say? I mean, to me, I think it sort of mixes a little bit of the genres. You've got rock, you've got blues a little bit, you've got a ballad. It does the tributes to, Frankenstein and other types of things. It has a little bit of everything, for the time.
That's the thing. It is a little bit of everything.
It's a mixture, yeah.
It's a one-off. It's a thing on its own. It's a standalone show. Because nobody's ever brought out another show like this.
Never will.
No.
Probably never will.
So I looked it up, and to answer the question, he did a few smaller things on TV before Rocky Horror, but Rocky Horror was his breakthrough. And if you go on IMDb and just scroll down through all of his stuff, that is a long-ass career. My God, this guy's done a lot of stuff. And the second to the last thing he's done so far was the remake of Rocky Horror.
So what was the last thing he done?
It was a voiceover of a short film.
Oh,
I'm sorry. The dog's barking at the cat.
He has done a lot of voiceovers for cartoon. If you remember the Wild Thornberrys cartoon.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
His voice was the voice of the dad.
Oh, was it? I never knew that.
There you go.
Prize.
So does anybody have any tidbits they want to share or any additional information before we wrap this up?
Tim Curry.
Yep, Tim Curry.
And okay, one more tidbit. One of my favorite actors in all the world.
Is it Tim Curry?
No, he did
It's not Tim Curry. You've been screaming about Tim Curry. It's not Tim Curry.
Hold your horses, Aled. Let me tell the story.
I've bolted already. I bolted.
There is like a Nicholas Courtney amazingly played the narrator and Dr. Scott in various forms, and he's done the bit in the chair, but he's most famous for being the narrator and showing everything. But even when he said that, even when he did the narrator, he wore the fishnets. So I mean, here, it's amazing. And so there is another. We'll link it at the YouTube video for Nicholas Courtney at a convention doing the time warp. I mean, it's freaking awesome.
I just want to add something.
Oh, that sounds fabulous.
I just want to add something here and now because I've got a really big announcement. Now, every time, because Susan does mention his name a lot, every time Susan mentions Nicholas Courtney, which she does in nearly every cast, we are going to put £1 in a jar and it's going to be given towards charity. So, every time Susan mentions Nicholas Courtney.
Now, the funny thing is,
like a swear jar. Think of it as a swear jar.
A swear jar.
Nicholas Courtney for Susan.
Well, we can give it to the Marie Curie Cancer Center
within a week.
We can give it to the Marie Curie Cancer Center, which was his where he spent his cancer treatment and his hospice.
Oh, did he die of cancer?
Nicholas Courtney.
Did he die of cancer?
I know how to get it. I know how to give to them, and that's where we can give. So every time I mention it, I'll put.
Every time you mention what?
Nicholas Courtney. I'm going to put £1 in a jar.
Ah, £1. I got her to say it. £1.
Yeah, no.
Alex, you can't mention it on her behalf.
No.
No, what I was going to say was Susie mentioned Tim Curry's smaller parts. He was a cashier in the Ace of Wands ITV show, that series in the 70s. And he was also in a mini-series called Napoleon and Love. And I guess he was Eugene in 1974. So he was in a TV miniseries, which I don't remember if I saw that miniseries at all.
Well, on that bombshell of Tim Curry's small parts.
Yeah. Oh, well. We're complete anyway.
Yes. Well,
we've covered almost his career.
Geeky. Very geeky.
Yeah. Well, his Geeks Assembled after all.
Very geeky.
Didn't he win a Tony Award in 2015? I think he did, didn't he? Didn't he win a lifetime
idea.
Tony Award?
I don't know. Google it.
Google is your friend with this, Alex.
Google is your friend.
Google is your friend. Don't trust it, though.
All right, so what would we rate it then?
Yeah, let's give final thoughts and scores. Let's go with Alex and Susan since they're unmuted. And Alex is kind of hijacking my hosting skills.
That's okay. No, the acting and the music is great. And so for that, I will give it a 9. And it's a little bit of everything. And this is one of the creations that it actually works.
So what we found out from that is Alex likes a little bit of everything, Susan. So there you go, Susan. A little bit of everything.
Well, she does have the bustier, so.
So, okay, Tim Curry, and I'll give it 10 Tim Currys.
10 Tim Currys, flipping heck. Hopefully not all with small parts. Anyway, let's move on to Susie. Let's move on to Susie. This really.
Oh, me. Okay. Well,
you're the only Susie here.
Me? Okay. So, if you've actually been watching this video all the way through of this review, God bless you.
No, trust me, Susie. You can say what you want. Nobody has.
Go get a drink. Go get a drink. You deserve it. But if you're going to watch the show, I would advise you to go to a public screening with friends or by yourself to an active public screening where they're going to be doing the traditions that go along with the show. You don't have to know everything. Just bring some newspaper and you'll have a good time. And if you can find a newspaper. but so if you're going to a live screening or you're going to see it at home with friends or something, the 10 out of 10,000 Tim Currys, absolutely.
10,000 Tim Currys now.
10,000 Tim Currys. But if you're going to turn it on at home and sit and watch it as a movie, I wouldn't recommend that. I would only give that like a 5 out of 10 Tim Currys. Because it's not as much fun. The attention span kind of goes for me. So it works as a cult classic, and it's fabulous that way, but it's not something that I like to sit down and actually watch by myself.
Susie, you didn't take something into consideration with your review.
What did I do?
The people watching this, they cannot go out in public.
If I can go out in public, anybody can go out in public.
Yeah. Now, that's the other question there, Mr.
Yes, it is a question, Alex. Yes, that is a question. Why can't they go out in public, Alex?
If you take a drink every time you mention Tim Curry, or we mention Tim Curry, would you be...
Every time someone mentions Tim Curry now, they're going to put £1 in the jar.
No, that was not Tim Curry. That was Nicholas.
I know. And it's also
We're having another jar. We're having 2 jars.
It's a lot of spice as well.
You really have. Where are you getting these jokes from, Alex? Are you going on Google on your phone looking for curry jokes? Let's go to Beef Dad before he really does lose the will to live.
Tim Curry was brilliant. But you've got to remember that without Richard O'Brien, you would not have the Rocky Horror Show. He wrote it, and the man was just absolutely brilliant. I disagree with Susie. You don't have to see it in a bunch. I am quite happy to put it on and sing along, and I don't care if the neighbours complain. Not that my neighbours do complain, fortunately. But yeah, it's just absolutely brilliant. I mean, and it gets a 20 out of 10 for me.
Can I ask, did the neighbours come and complain?
No.
Okay, I just because I thought, why did you bring that up? I thought.
No, the neighbors would never complain. He has a beautiful voice. No, if you're seeing it for the very first time, that's what I meant. If you already know it, that's a different story. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Just snort some coke beforehand and you'll be all right. Let's go to Kevin.
Not that we condone drug taking on this cast.
I mean, we do it simply because we need to.
If you're still with us.
Yeah, let's go to Kevin.
If you're still with us, God bless you. I really enjoy this. Even if when I saw it the first time, I know Tim Curry from It and Home Alone 2, so yeah, and he was funny in that. And I really enjoyed this movie, so I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10.
Oh, a 10 out of 10 from Kevin. And let's go over to Hull, because time is fleeting. Let's go to Lee.
Well, you got caught with a flat. Well, how about that? I'll get you a satanic mechanic. Sorry, I'm just repeating some of the songs now. It's just a brilliant.
Janet.
It's just a brilliant thing to watch. As Beef Dad said, though, Richard O'Brien and Tim Curry do make this movie. And to quote a little line from the film, it's not easy having a good time. Even smiling makes my face ache. Story of my life. Oh, you want to score, don't you?
Yeah, I want to score, yeah. Keep up.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give it 10 Frankenfurters out of 10.
So it's a 10 out of 10 from Lee. Do you know what? I've had so much fun on this cast. It's been an absolute blast, this cast. But as for the film, I love this film. It's got to be a 10. I mean, the songs are brilliant. And, I can't remember. What's the main actor's name? No, I can't. No.
Tim Curry.
It's gone. I can't remember it. But yeah, whoever he was absolutely amazing.
Alid, before you give your score and everything, can you just stand up and show us what you're wearing below?
I beg your pardon. You usually ask that question later on at night.
Hey, I've heard there's some high heels.
If you
Are you wearing fishnets, Alan?
I'm not wearing anything.
Oh, Alan, I bet you look good in fishnets. Please wear the fishnets.
I'm wearing How perfect.
I'm in my pajama bottoms. No, I'll stand up. I'm in my pajama bottoms.
Oh.
I've got my socks on.
Oh.
They're actually yesterday's socks. Saturday.
He promised me.
They're Saturday socks. I wear them every day. Hope it'd be Saturday for New Doctor Who. I'm having a mental breakdown here, man. This is really taking its toll. Let's go over to Loaf.
Ali promised me Hardy would be returning today on this cast, and it's not come true.
Hey, we had no discussion about that.
About what?
We had that.
Well, Ali has got an alter ego.
He does? Is it the girl, is it Elsa from Frozen?
Yeah, I got paid absolutely loads to doing that. Absolutely loads. I mean, I'm a millionaire now. Alex, why are you poking Susan? Bless her. Leave her alone. Do that in your own time. You want to poke Lee?
Oh my God.
You're going to have to consult with Lee on that. Lee's scratching his ass. Oh my God, we really have to go. All right then. What was we saying? I can't even remember how we end this now.
Tim Curry!
Tim Curry!
Tim Curry!
Tim Curry! I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. Alex, don't you dare say a word. I'm wrapping up. I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. I'd like to thank you for watching. Tell us what you think about this film, whatever it was called again. I can't even remember what we're talking about. Hit that subscribe button. Look after yourself. Take care. And Alex is now going to sing us out with a time warp.
No, Richard O'Brien and Tim Curry. Richard O'Brien, though. Yes, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.